This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning, 6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Roberts. Thanks for joining us this morning. Off to another quiet start. If you're looking for rain, though, I did my part. I washed my car last night for probably the first time in weeks, maybe months, since it hasn't really been worth the bother. Right. So I'm now expecting a rain chance to pop up in John's forecast. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi and see what we're looking at our first alert weather. Good morning.
It's gonna pour.
I know.
No. Not so much. There'll be a few isolated showers around, but you know what? Since Steph washed the car, I expect the rain chances to be going up anytime soon. We have Maria, which is kind of falling apart out in the Atlantic right there. Strongest winds out in the Atlantic waters, not over the coastline. But still, tropical storm warnings up for the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Possibility of a little bit of a storm surge there and some gusty winds over the next 24. As that storm system kind of meanders out there in the near Atlantic waters and high pressure is to our northwest, we get that drier air kind of filtering in, reducing our rain chances today. How low? About 10%. That should do it, and that's not very high for this time of year. We're still in the rainy season officially throughout the rest of the month. So daytime highs, because without the rainfall, you don't get the clouds. Without the clouds, you get the full sun. The sun's still high in the sky. Expect about 90. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now at 6:01. We'll check that and find out. Still a slowdown there on 301 southbound as you get near State Road 70. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Sarasota, an issue now is developing on Clark at I-75. We'll click on that and see that a right lane is blocked in the southbound lane at Clark. So be aware of that if you're heading south this morning around Clark and 75. South County, mostly clear at 6:02 on this Tuesday morning.
Topping our news this hour, North Korea's top diplomat is now claiming that President Trump has declared war, giving North Korea the right to take countermeasures, including shooting down U.S. bombers.
Now, the White House says the president did not declare war. Elizabeth Herr has the latest.
North Korea firing back to what it claims was a declaration of war from President Trump.
지난 며칠 동안 다 알다시피
North Korea's Foreign Minister Ri Yong-ho, who earlier called President Trump a mentally deranged person who committed an irreversible mistake at the UN, to which the president tweeted, "Just heard Foreign Minister of North Korea speak at UN. If he echoes thoughts of little rocket man, they won't be around much longer." Ri now says that tweet gives Pyongyang the right to shoot down U.S. bombers in self-defense, even if they do not enter North Korean airspace. Last week, North Korea even threatened to test a hydrogen bomb in the Pacific Ocean.
My sense is that tensions are as high as they've been in anybody's recollection. We're really at a dangerous point.
The former vice chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff on this week saying the time is now for the U.S. to specify what will not be tolerated to avoid a military confrontation. Over the weekend, rising tensions on display in North Korea with thousands rallying against the U.S. This as the U.S. military, in a continued show of force with South Korea, flew U.S. bombers north of the DMZ, farther than any time in nearly 2 decades.
We've not declared war on North Korea, and frankly, the suggestion of that is absurd.
Pentagon officials also responded saying the military will do whatever it takes to safeguard the U.S. and our allies, and that all military options will be provided to the president. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
Happening today, a big election in Alabama as voters head to the polls to elect a new senator. Incumbent Luther Strange is facing off with former state Chief Justice Roy Moore in the Republican primary there. The winner fills the Senate seat left vacant by Attorney Jeff Sessions. President Trump says Strange is the better man for the job, but some key allies disagree, like former White House strategist Steve Bannon, who is backing Moore. Bannon says that Strange has a troubling tie to GOP leader Mitch McConnell.
Republicans are scrambling to win support for their latest version of a bill to repeal and replace Obamacare. Protesters interrupted a Senate Finance Committee meeting on the bill yesterday. The measure, sponsored by Senators Lindsey Graham and Bill Cassidy, is one no vote away from being dead in the water. Republican Senators John McCain and Rand Paul have publicly stated they won't support the bill. And just last night, Republican Senator Susan Collins announced that she also will oppose the bill. A new poll released yesterday says just 1 in 5 Americans approve of Graham Cassidy health care bill.
An update this morning on the sentencing of former Congressman Anthony Weiner. A federal judge in New York has sentenced Weiner to 21 months in prison for transferring obscene material to a minor. The case centered on his lewd sexual conduct with a girl he knew was 15 years old. He sent the girl some cell phone photos that were, well, adult in nature. This is not Weiner's first time doing that. His lawyers admit he is a sick man who is making progress. Witnesses in the court said he broke down at the defense table and cried for several minutes.
Uber is apologizing to Londoners just days after city officials announced they will not renew the ride-hailing company's license. Uber's new CEO issued the apology in a London newspaper. He wrote that while Uber revolutionized transportation in London, they also got some things wrong along the way. The city's transport authority says that Uber was not, quote, fit and proper to operate in London. They didn't like the company's approach to reporting serious crimes, and there was an issue with some software that Uber uses. It prevented officials from monitoring the app. Uber plans to challenge this move in court.
Back in this country, some good post-storm news for drivers. After reaching a 3-year high due to hurricanes Harvey and Irma, prices are now inching back down. Prices shot up when Hurricane Harvey struck refineries around the Gulf Coast, and those prices then stayed high because of demand after Hurricane Irma. According to AAA, gas prices in the southeast should drop another 5 to 10 cents this week. And the decision to suspend highway tolls before, during, and after Irma cost the state of Florida $45 million. The state lifted the tolls on September 5th to help speed up evacuations, but according to AAA, or the Florida's Turnpike system rather, the estimated $3 million a day not received will cause a problem. Toll suspensions during a hurricane are taken into consideration during the budgeting process, however.
An update on the deaths at a South Florida nursing home during Hurricane Irma. An attorney has now filed a wrongful death lawsuit on behalf of family members of one of the residents who died during a power outage. Miguel Franco was among 11 people who died after police say the home in Hollywood Hills failed to evacuate residents who suffered for days in the heat with no air conditioning. Franco's wife is still in serious condition. The suit is one of several actions filed since the tragedy, and it alleges negligence as police are looking at the deaths as part of a criminal investigation.
After Irma, more than 1 million Florida homeowners and renters have registered for federal assistance. The Florida Division of Emergency Management says the daily number of applicants is steadily increasing. At least 9 counties each had more than 50,000 people register for individual assistance. A FEMA spokesman says everyone who feels they may be entitled to assistance should apply.
You may be able to get assistance from FEMA whether you have insurance or not. Every household is handled on a case-by-case basis because everyone's exact situation is unique. So registering with FEMA will get you into that process.
To register, you can visit their website, disasterassistance.gov, or use your FEMA app on the smartphone. Flood insurance claims are coming in from across the state as well. Nearly 17,000 have already filed and more are expected. The Sun Sentinel reports of the 16,000 flood claims filed through Thursday. Nearly 4,000 were from Monroe County, which is the Florida Keys. Here in the Suncoast, 295 claims have been filed in Manatee and Sarasota counties.
If you are a Comcast customer who lost service during Hurricane Irma, you may be able to get some money back. Customers can fill out an online form to be considered for a one-time credit for cable, phone, and internet services lost during and after the storm. Customers can ask for a suspension of service, a credit on an oncoming bill, or to have their equipment replaced. Customers should get this response back from Comcast within 2 days.
Officials in the Florida Keys are announcing that the island chain will reopen to visitors this Sunday. Recovery efforts are still ongoing, especially in the lower Keys, where many houses and businesses were destroyed. Key Largo and Key West were the least impacted by Irma, but some tourist spots are still closed. If you want to visit the area, call ahead to see which hotels and attractions are still open. And some of Florida's national and state parks could take weeks or longer to reopen after Irma. The National Park Service is sending almost 400 workers to 15 parks in Irma's path in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and the Caribbean. The most common issues: downed trees, damaged buildings, flooded roads, flooded paths. The Gulf Coast Visitor Center at the Everglades City entrance to the Everglades National Park could be closed for months. Other parks either closed or partially closed include Biscayne National Park and Dry Tortugas National Park. As for Bradenton's DeSoto National Memorial, it just reopened this past Friday.
I had a very sobering moment on Facebook yesterday where I have a couple of good friends in Key West, and they had evacuated, obviously, during the storm, and they just went back on Friday, and they said, boy.
Wasn't pretty.
It wasn't pretty. You know, when we see those images, and we know even from our own situations, you know, that a lot of damage can happen from these storms, but I think to have that be your home for decades and come back and just see so much gone.
Did they lose their homes?
A lot of damage. But a lot of people just have nothing. It's really...
Yeah, you know, there are a lot of historic buildings down there. A lot of houses that were, 100 years old, some of them.
Right.
And it's too bad. It's really too bad. Hopefully they'll be rebuilt to higher standards, though, and life will go on, and the next time this happens...
They're still having their big Halloween party. I heard that. Right. I can't remember what it's called.
That's
but yeah.
Key West, yeah. What was it?
Fantasy Fest. Sorry, that would be why I forgot. But
ever been to that?
As a journalist, I've attended, yes.
Yes.
Nice. Shall I ask?
Oh, twice.
Twice? All right.
Yes.
Apparently, I'm the only one.
You gotta go.
Yeah. Maybe not this year.
Maybe not. We have some showers down the road, but for today, it looks like drier than average day. We'll talk about that in a second.
All right, also still have the latest first alert traffic, and Hurricane Maria is threatening parts of the East Coast, but not before it tore apart Puerto Rico last week.
We're going to talk about how bad conditions really are on the island now and when power could be restored after this.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $199 a month, or get 2.9% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Taking a look at temperatures across the region, 72 temperature, 72 dew point, 100% relative humidity when that happens. Temperature and dew point a match, you get that high relative humidity. And it does feel a little bit humid out there, but still, with an air temperature of 72, it's all right. We have a lot of blue sky, at least starry skies right now, and it'll be a mostly sunny start to the day. 76 degrees in Wauchula, 77 in Arcadia, 74 Mayaca City, a little cooler there. Parrish at 73, Bradenton 71, Venice a little bit warmer at 77, and 80 degrees, the hot spot Boca Grande. Now, across the state of Florida, things are pretty quiet right now. We did have some overnight showers and even a few pops of lightning, especially in South Florida where the moisture is a little bit thicker, a little heavier. We're seeing some showers ongoing there and even a pop or two of lightning ongoing at this hour from about Naples southward. Otherwise, the peninsula north of that, pretty quiet. Don't expect to see much in the way of showers throughout this morning. In fact, even by this afternoon, don't expect to see much in the way of showers. That'll be true for the next several days. We have this dry air that's kind of locked in place. It's just not going anywhere. The water vapor imagery attests to that. We have a little upper level low kind of spinning around here. And of course, we have a low at the surface spinning around here in the form of a hurricane, barely a hurricane, but still a hurricane, Maria, off the coast of the Carolinas. The combination of those two factors draw down this drier air and really are going to kind of keep our rain chances at about 10% for at least a couple of days, maybe even 3 days until we start to moisten things back up again. But this high pressure area, expansive high pressure area through the Ohio Valley stretching back into the deep south will kind of keep most of the mid-Atlantic states all the way up into down east Maine and then back toward the Ohio Valley and heartland in fair weather. It's really along this trough of low pressure back to the west, this frontal boundary where the inclement weather is going to happen. Heavy rainfall possible there, stretching from Texas up through Oklahoma, really all the way up into the western Great Lakes. That trough of low pressure advancing toward the east kicks our hurricane out into open waters and away from the coastline. Most of the heavy weather on the east side of this storm. So the Outer Banks of North Carolina probably see a few showers, probably see an elevated surf of about 1 foot to 2 foot maybe, right along the immediate coastline. Rip currents, certainly a problem. But other than that, you know, maybe some breezy winds, 30, 40 mile an hour winds right along the coast. About what they get from a nor'easter, actually. Otherwise, we are looking at some pleasant weather for the rest of the week. I think boating weather will be great today. Look for a light chop with a west wind coming in at about 10 knots this afternoon. And for the next couple of days, less than average rain chances, higher than normal temperatures. And then as we head into the weekend, I think we'll see a little bit more cloud cover around and slightly cooler temperatures. Back to you.
All right, looks good. Thank you very much, John. Taking a look at the roadways this morning, things looking good in Manatee County. The bridges to and from Palmetto, no problem. I-75 moving well. Starting to see some volume building there on 301, especially as you get closer to Fruitville Road in Sarasota. We do have one accident on the board. It's I-75 southbound. A right lane is blocked at Clark Road. Not causing any problems yet with volume, but likely we'll see that be a problem if we don't get that cleared up soon. So keep an eye on Clark Road and I-75, and things in South County are moving well. It is 6:19 and millions of U.S. citizens in Puerto Rico are fighting just to stay alive.
You know, Puerto Rico has 4 million residents total. The storm left 3 million without water, food, or power. Leila Santiago has a closer look.
This woman doesn't even know who I am, but I'm the first person she's seen land here since Hurricane Maria battered the island. The floods, the debris, the lack of power, all making already hard to get to areas even tougher to reach. Even FEMA hasn't set foot in some parts of Puerto Rico. We took a chopper from San Juan to remote areas largely unseen, like a small town next to the Oaxaca Dam on the northwest part of the island. The dam has been breached, and the government ordered 70,000 nearby residents to evacuate. It is here in nearby Quebradillas where I was met with such emotion, the people starving for assistance.
She says if something happens to that dam, that could be just as bad as the hurricane itself.
Communications are so poor, many are asking us to send messages to their families. From the air, you can see why more than 3 million U.S. citizens could remain in the dark for months.
The infrastructure was vulnerable before Maria passed by, but you could see with these power lines down, what the challenge is. They're completely collapsed.
Heading further inland toward Utuado, the death toll is among the highest here. This is where we meet 56-year-old Rosario Heredia. She is diabetic, just had surgery, and is unemployed. Now, she doesn't have a home either. This is what Maria did to her home. Water spewing from every corner. By now, she thought help would have arrived. It hasn't.
So she's hopeful that someone will help her. To be able to rebuild this.
Flying south to even more remote Yauco. The roads are blocked, forcing us to find another way to get to this home. Coffee growers Gaspar Rodriguez and Doris Velez tell us the problem here is food. Most of what they have left has gone bad.
He says you work and work and work, and it's for nothing because he's lost everything.
A common theme on an island of 3.4 million U.S. citizens, now waiting and hoping that help is on the way.
And so many people have ties to Puerto Rico, too. Actually, on Suncoast View today, we're going to talk to the actress that's playing Evita at the Oslo Rep.
Oh, really?
She is from Puerto Rico and has honestly left rehearsals here to go back there.
Is that right?
To try to help and check on her family. So they just, there's no cell phone, so
No.
they have no idea
Yeah.
how their families are, and it's tough.
That's the hardest part. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, P.S. Evita is playing locally.
Yes, P.S. That'll be coming in November.
All right.
You never know what you'll learn from us.
Thank you for that. All right, 6:22 right now. Still heading Good Morning Suncoast. President Trump's comments on the flag sparked a war of words with the world of sports.
We'll tell you what some of the country's biggest athletes are now saying when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
It's Willamania at the Players Center as the Will Rogers Follies takes the stage September 27th. Part homespun humor and part Ziegfeld Follies, this toe-tapping Tony Award musical is the start of our wild Broadway series. So call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You need to catch Willamania.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
one.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder, high-performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Welcome back at 6:25. We're taking a look at the Bradenton Police Department in Manatee County. Governor Scott is here, and unfortunately, not for a great reason. Manatee County at the heart of the opioid crisis in Florida, and the governor is here to make an announcement about what they are trying to do to continue to combat that crisis.
That's at 9:30 a.m. Now, if you want to join our Facebook pages, we're going to show that address. I guess not. All right, 6:25 right now as you welcome us back on this Tuesday morning. And the fallout continues following President Trump's statement and tweets on athletes taking a knee during the national anthem. And now, opponents are growing from some of the president's former supporters as well. ABC's Matt Gutman has the latest.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, taking their stand by taking a knee.
Boos can be heard from this sellout crowd.
Even owner Jerry Jones, who has called the anthem protest disappointing, right there in the middle of his team.
O'er the ramparts we walk.
In what the NFL commissioner tweeted was a great show of unity, a choreographed move between the Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals.
Our players wanted to make a statement about unity.
Singer Jordan Sparks displaying a reference to a Bible verse calling to speak up to those who cannot speak for themselves. Monday night's action in lockstep with reaction to President Trump's fiery comment.
If you see it, even if it's one player, leave the stadium.
And we'll have full coverage of this political war of words coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
At Almond Breeze, we only use California-grown Blue Diamond almonds in our almond milk, and we're proud of that. But the whole care and nurturing part, that idea, we borrowed from the experts. Blue Diamond Almond Breeze. The best almonds make the best almond milk.
New Band-Aid brand SkinFlex bandages. Our best bandage yet. It moves like a second skin.
Better? Yeah.
Good thing, because stopping never crosses your mind. Band-Aid brand. Stick with it.
When food is good and clean and real, it's okay to crave. And with Panera Catering, there's more to go around. Panera, food as it should be.
Allergies can hold you back. Break through with Allegra 5-in-1 Relief. It starts working in 1 hour. Relief lasts 24 hours, and it's non-drowsy. Break through allergies with Allegra 5-in-1 Relief.
The Alfa Romeo Stelvio takes the modern compact luxury crossover and injects it with personality.
Every crossover should be this good to drive.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. It's the final days of the Bacon's Furniture Relocation Sell-Off. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. Don't miss the final days of the Bacon's Furniture and Design Relocation Sell-Off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-800-558-8779.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
I went in skeptical and came away impressed.
Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, a segment best.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, a passerby finds a body washing ashore on a Sarasota County beach. We'll have details.
Plus, police shoot and kill a man in Manatee County in a cemetery. We'll tell you what happened.
And Governor Scott is coming to the Suncoast this morning for a major announcement on the opioid epidemic. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Coming up 6:32. Welcome back on a Tuesday morning. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Ray Collins. Another warm one on the way. Hot yesterday, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Temperatures can't seem to find fall, even though the calendar has.
I
so
know.
We'll see if we can change that at all. We'll check out our first alert forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi. Good morning.
Good morning. I was just looking at some data that showed that the earliest day to expect 90-degree temperatures or lower has moved from September 30th to October 8th.
Oh, all right. But then I guess we have time.
So, you know, just crank up the AC and expect warm temperatures. And that's what we're going to get all week long. Again, warm temperatures for at least the next couple of days, as we don't have a whole lot of rainfall to talk about. So without the rainfall, without the cloud cover, we get the full sun, and that leads to temperatures near the 90 mark. Maria continuing to move off the Atlantic coast, you know, just barely hanging on to hurricane status, will produce some inclement weather for the North Carolina Outer Banks. But for us, it draws down drier air and reduces our rain chances for the next several days. For today, expected daytime high that tops out near the 90-degree mark, and we'll have mostly sunny skies. Complete forecast for you in just a few.
Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. We'll first off check Manatee County, the usual slowdowns there on 301 heading towards State Road 70. Sarasota County is showing problems there, 41 southbound all along the Bayfront. Also that ongoing issue, I-75 southbound, the right lane is blocked at Clark Road, so be aware of that if you're heading south around Clark this morning. South County all clear at 6:33 on your Tuesday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is investigating a body that washed ashore in Englewood last night.
Yeah, some beachgoers found the body on the sand in Minnesota Beach. Our Rick Adams has the story.
Well, at this time, we don't have very many details. What we do know is the body was found on this beach, shocking a lot of folks. It was a day some beachgoers at Minnesota Beach will never forget. On Monday, they stumbled upon a dead body of a man that washed ashore. For some people hanging out around the beach area, this was very surprising.
It's absolutely horrible. I think it's insanity. You know, I mean, how often does something like that happen?
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says the body that was found is either a white or Hispanic male between 35 and 55 years old. When his body was found, he was wearing only shorts and a backpack.
Initial reaction is scared. I wouldn't want to have that. We're on these beaches all the time, so it's scary.
Detectives are currently working on identifying the man and then notifying family members. And as soon as we receive more information, including the identity of the man, we'll certainly pass it along to you. Reporting from Minnesota Beach, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Rick. One man is dead and 2 Palmetto police officers are on administrative leave after a deadly shooting in a cemetery yesterday. 32-year-old Anthony Robinson was shot and killed at the old Memphis Cemetery in Palmetto. Police say Robinson fired shots into his father's home. His father called police and officers then tracked down Robinson. Robinson drove off in a vehicle, which he then wrecked, took off on foot into a cemetery with a handgun. He would then fired at 2 Palmetto police officers who returned fire and killed him. A neighbor who knew Robinson said she heard the gunshots.
What woke me up out my sleep, we heard that it was just that loud. And me and my husband both, and my husband said, get down on the floor. We got down on the floor, you know, because We didn't know where it was all coming from, you know.
Officials say Robinson had a criminal record, but they would not release any further details.
A trial is now underway for a former Sarasota County Sheriff's deputy charged with attempted murder. Jury selection began yesterday in the case against Frank Bybee. He's facing 20 felony charges for allegedly stealing a 79-year-old woman's money and then trying to kill her. Bybee's defense claims the woman has a history of mental health issues, including emails where she threatened to kill herself. Bybee has pleaded not guilty. Jury selection should take the next few days in Sarasota County.
Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are looking for the person who robbed a Domino's Pizza yesterday. An employee was sweeping the floor near the back door of Domino's on Lockwood Ridge Road when the robber approached him armed with a knife. He forced his way into the store and took an undisclosed amount of cash before running back out the door. The suspect is described as a white male, 6 feet, 250 pounds, wearing a white shirt and had a white face covering. Anyone with information should contact the Manatee County Sheriff's Office or call Crime Stoppers.
Happening today, Governor Scott visiting Bradenton for a major announcement. The issue is the state's opioid crisis that has hit Manatee County especially hard. He'll address reporters at 9:30 a.m. and we'll have details on our Facebook page, on mysuncoast.com, and also ABC 7 News at noon. The governor says 10,000 more tarps are on the way to storm victims. The tarps are for homeowners to patch roofs damaged by Hurricane Irma. More than 100,000 tarps have already been passed out around the state. Governor Scott aims to prevent additional water and rain damage to homes impacted by Hurricane Irma until Operation Blue Roof is fully operational.
FEMA has set up disaster relief at the Venice Community Center. FEMA representatives are in place to help register residents who have damage to their homes as a result of Hurricane Irma. FEMA says they saw a need in Venice as a large portion of the population there may not have access to the internet.
Sarasota County, we've seen a lot of requests for folks who had flood damage. We have had people with roof damage. We have something called the Blue Roof Program.
The center will be open from 8 a.m. through 8 p.m. through tomorrow night at the Venice Community Center. After that, residents will have to register online.
A follow-up now on whether or not local students who have to make up days after Hurricane Irma. The Manatee County School Board plans to discuss today whether students need to make up 4 days of school. More than a dozen schools served as shelters during the storm. District officials canceled classes for 6 days after the storm to clean up the schools. As for Sarasota County, the superintendent there says schools do not need to make up the days due to the added half hour of instruction each school day.
And that seems to be the way the schedule is built, because I know in Hillsborough County as well,
yeah,
they're not making them up in full days, just an hour here or there. So
makes sense.
They are still getting the education where they need it. Millions of people are without power in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria devastated the island, making it hard for those here in the United States to even communicate with their relatives.
Our Erica Jackson took a closer look at the challenges one Sarasota man faced while trying to communicate with his family.
It's very tragic for us to, try to imagine how it is down there.
A very powerful Hurricane Maria, tearing roofs off homes, snapping trees, bringing down cell towers and power lines.
I know many people that is living in the States are worried about not hearing from their families, and the reason for that is that communication towers are down.
96% of cell towers were still down as of Sunday. It took 4 days for Puerto Rican native Emanuele Arce to get in touch with his relatives.
There's no internet, there's no power, no water. A lot of their basic needs are, not being met right now.
Arce says he keeps his mind busy by boxing in his free time. But in between boxing sessions, he was finally able to get in touch with his grandmother and uncle through a satellite phone connection on Sunday.
We were lucky to get a line through and speak to them, but it was very brief. I mean, it was like a 5-minute talk, just figuring out, hey, are you okay? Are you good physically? And then it just went out.
AT&T is helping people get in contact with their relatives in Puerto Rico. Enter the cell phone number of the customer you're trying to contact on AT&T's website. Then enter your number. When that person is able to connect to a wireless network, AT&T will let them know that someone is trying to contact them and notify you that more service is up and running.
Not hearing from them was definitely the scariest thing.
Arce says Hurricane Maria may be one of the hardest battles his home territory has faced, but Puerto Rico and its residents know how to put up a good fight.
You can knock us down 10 times, but we'll get up 11 times, and this is not going to be any exception.
Reporting in Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Boy, I like that service,
Yeah.
you know, to try
Smart.
to get people in connection with each other.
Yeah, they need it right now, don't they?
You know, Not knowing's hard.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know, they'll be able to get more of those cell phone towers up, and people will be able to connect and, you know, realize that their loved ones are okay, and
Right.
you know, food and water starts
I was
arriving.
going to say, we're
and-
starting to get some aid going over, I know.
Yeah, some of the tweets that you get though from the area still, even today, are pretty dire in
Yeah.
terms of, you know,
People are
supplies.
scared. Yep.
They need stuff. We have across our region some pleasant sunny weather today. You know, not much in the way of any kind of rainfall chances. Talk about that in a second.
All right, also, and coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in First Alert traffic and the Obamacare enrollment season right around the corner. Many are concerned they won't have a chance to register.
We'll tell you why some say the White House plans to shut down that site once the registration process begins.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Celebrate the end of summer with big savings during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers or save big on a new sleek and stylish Jeep Cherokee for as little as $18,999. Drive off today for your next great adventure in a brand new Jeep Renegade for as low as $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Watch your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
72-degree air temperature. We have a dew point of 72, the match making it 100% relative humidity. Across the region, temperatures are pretty warm, I'd say, for inland areas. 77 degrees, almost 80 degrees in Arcadia, you know, getting up there into the upper 70s. Punta Gorda the same. Wauchula coming in at 76. Along the coastline, we have some areas that are a little bit cooler. Representative, 72 in Sarasota, 71 in Bradenton, 74 in Parrish. But check out Venice, 78 degrees. Boca Grande coming in at 80. So we are starting off with a lot of moisture in the air, and as we head into the afternoon, I think surface moisture will still be high, so it'll still feel kind of muggy, but aloft, you know, you go up 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 feet and the air is pretty dry, so we'll have a lot of blue sky out there. We'll have a lot of sunshine. We'll have warm afternoon temperatures, but not much in the way of cooling rain shower chances, except in the southern tip of the state where there's still a good chance of seeing some thunderstorms develop there. I'd say from about Naples, Lake Ode, southward, you're probably going to see a few thunderstorms around. And there might be an isolated one in our neck of the woods. But other than that, our rain chance at about 10% won't allow for many showers locally. In fact, right now, everything's very quiet across the Suncoast. Morning commute will be dry as we head into the afternoon and evening. I think you're going to see a lot of dry weather for the return home as well. The water vapor imagery, kind of a snapshot from space of where the moisture is, where it is not. The tan colors is where it is dry. And the loft, it's very dry. In fact, we have an upper level low kind of spinning around, helping to bring in some of that dry air across our region. And we also have the air subsiding around the periphery of what's barely hanging on as a hurricane. Maria, with 75-mile-an-hour winds, continues on a track that brushes the North Carolina Outer Banks, but then heaviest weather well off to the east of the state, so they might get some tropical storm force winds or gusts, certainly. But other than that, you know, this is going to be mostly a coastal erosion, high surf, rip current kind of issue for parts of the Outer Banks and even up toward north of Washington, D.C. I think they'll probably see some issues there with some rip currents and higher surf, that sort of thing. But a trough of low pressure back to the west producing some heavy weather will eventually inch closer to us and continue to nudge the system out into open waters. For us, it means fewer than average storms today, a warm afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Beautiful day to be out on the water. I'll tell you what, it'll be a nice west wind developing at about 10 knots. Water temperature now at about 85 degrees. So starting to get that little hint of cooler weather out there on the open waters. You know, our temperatures dropping down just a little bit out in the Gulf, but still warm. 2-foot seas, light chop on bay and inland waters. As we head into the next several days, expect those warm temperatures to continue up around 90. And then as we head into the weekend, our rain chances will go up just a little bit. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look at the traffic, we're seeing the normal building volume as we head toward the 7 o'clock hour. Some backups in Ellington near the outlet mall there. We do still have a wreck showing up on I-75 southbound at Clark Road. Reports there of the right-hand lane blocked in the southbound direction. But the good news is it's still not causing too many problems and things looking good in South County as well. In this morning's Health Smart, the Trump administration is getting backlash for reports that it will shut down the Obamacare website during enrollment season. Officials say the site will be closed for 12 hours on all but one Sunday during the enrollment period. Healthcare.gov will also be offline on the first day of open enrollment, which is November 1st. The administration says the shutdowns are part of a regular maintenance schedule. An apple a day may keep the doctor away, but how do you know which kind of apple is best? Apples are packed with immunity-boosting plant nutrients that act as antioxidants. They can help lower your risk of heart disease, asthma, type 2 diabetes, and some types of cancer. But some apples have more nutrients than others. According to the Cleveland Clinic, the best types of apples are Granny Smith, Red Delicious, Fuji, Gala, and Jonagold.
Entertainment news now. Prince Harry and his girlfriend make their first public appearance together, and Don Rickles' final project has been released. Elizabeth Herr has the latest from Hollywood.
Britain's Prince Harry and his girlfriend, actress Meghan Markle, made their first official public appearance together. The couple holding hands while attending a wheelchair tennis event at Prince Harry's Invictus Games for wounded veterans in Toronto. Both looking casual and comfy in jeans, while the prince donned a polo shirt and Markle a button down.
If you wanted to.
It took nearly 10 years, but a solo female rapper is back on top on the Billboard Hot 100. Cardi B's Bodak Yellow replacing Taylor Swift's Look What You Made Me Do as the country's #1 record. Cardi B is only the 5th female rapper to top the Hot 100.
Everything I've ever done is off the top of my head.
Meanwhile, the final project of late comedy legend Don Rickles, called Dinner with Don, is out. The 13-episode digital series features Rickles interviewing celebs, including Jimmy Kimmel, Robert De Niro, and Snoop Dogg at his favorite Hollywood restaurants. Rickles, known as the grandmaster of insult comedy, died in April. He was 90 years old. And finally, big news from ABC's new American Idol. Country star Luke Bryan is joining singer Katy Perry as a judge. No word yet, though, on who will fill the third and final spot at the judges' table, but we do know Ryan Seacrest is returning as host. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
All right, got to keep American Idol fresh, you know.
It's back, isn't it?
It's not a new concept,
No.
but at least we've got new judges. So.
That's true. Up next, today's top local news headlines, and this story will inspire you, a swimmer without arms.
We'll tell you where this young man is hoping to compete and how his story is inspiring others after this.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork for free, and best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Don't let chronic lower back pain slow you down. Get moving and stay active with a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost. We also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, and other insurance. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare? Find out for free.
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-715-0835. That's 1-800-715-0835, 1-800-715-0835.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Well, just to mix things up, there's New York City, Manhattan's skyline, the Empire State Building.
A very pretty start there. Hey, a lot of warm air in the north, so if you're complaining about our heat, don't worry about it. It's hot everywhere still, although they're getting a cold front.
Yeah.
We will have to keep waiting. It is 6:54, and here are some of the top stories we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
A person on Minnesota Beach found a body on the sand yesterday. The investigation's underway now by the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office.
Plus, jury selection is underway against a former Sarasota County Sheriff's deputy. Frank Bybee pleading not guilty to 20 felonies, including attempted murder.
And Governor Scott will be in Bradenton this morning for a major announcement on the opioid crisis. That takes place at 9:30 a.m. at the police department.
Taking a look at traffic, we continue to see building volume across the roadways, but things look pretty good on I-75. Starting to see a backup in the bridges in Palmetto. We do have one accident to report. I-75 southbound, the right lane is blocked at Clark Road, and also some pretty good volume there, both directions building on Bee Ridge. John?
Becky Mayaka picked up a isolated shower yesterday. She was one of the few across the Suncoast, and in fact, most of us today will be dry without a chance of much rainfall across the Suncoast for the next 3 days. In fact, daytime highs will respond with temperatures near 90 as we head into the weekend. A few more clouds and a little bit cooler temperatures.
All right, thank you, John. Finally, 20-year-old Abbas Karimi was born without arms in Afghanistan, but look at this. Despite that, he's been swimming competitively from a young age. He even took home the gold in Afghanistan's first Paralympic swim meet. Karimi was forced to flee his war-torn country as a refugee. He now lives with a host family in Portland, Oregon, that he met on Facebook. And he continues to train to compete in the Para-Swimming World Championships in Mexico City.
You gotta love the determination.
Just watch that, and it inspires you to. You can do it after all. In
Absolutely.
Your respective worlds.
There was some para rowing here as part of the World Championships this week. Earlier, yeah, they did it like Sunday into Monday. Possibly still today. You'd have to check the website for that before we get into the heart of the competition as the week goes on.
Well, that raises a host of questions. How do they?
Because you find a way.
Yeah,
you find a way.
That's right.
You know?
You do.
Very neat. So I love to see that as part of the event.
All right, folks, enjoy your Tuesday.
Good Morning America is coming up next. Stay with us.